Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with the abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Honorable members, I'd like to request the quorum bell to be rung for the first 5 minutes. And I'd like to request Honorable Okoyo to whip the other members. Honorable members, I'm not able to spot the majority whip or the deputy, but I can spot Honorable Okoye sitting in for the leader of majority. Can you please confirm if you have quorum?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I can authentically confirm that we have quorum. Thank you.
Okay, clerk, can you take us through the order paper for the day?
Thank you, Madam Speaker and honorable members. Order paper number 353 of Thursday, 25th September 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, joining us today at the public gallery are teachers and students of Uranga Mixed Secondary School in Game, that is Siaya County. And the students are accompanied by the following teachers, that is Mr. Ohon Abraham, Mr. Ongondo Pius, Ms. Wanyasa Masi, and Ms. Toloi Charity. Your presence here today is a testament to the school's commitment to nurturing a new generation of informed and engaged citizens. It is crucial to our youth to understand the inner workings of our democratic institutions, and your direct observation of a legislative session is invaluable. We hope that your presence and the visit to this August House today will be both educational and inspiring, and we encourage you to follow the proceedings closely and learn about the roles and responsibilities of the County Assembly in representing the people, formulating the laws and providing oversight of the county government. And I welcome you all. Honorable members, as per tradition, I would like to invite a few members to say a word of encouragement to the students. So I'll give an opportunity to one gentleman and one lady. Or should I make it 2 gentlemen and 1 lady? So I'll start with Honorable Eunice Orlando. I know you come from Game in Siaya County. I'll give you the opportunity.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance to welcome the students and the teachers that we have in gallery. I want to take this opportunity to welcome our students from Uranga Mixed Secondary School and their teachers. I'm happy to stand here to welcome you to this house, being that I also come from Siaya, Manyar Game. I come from Game Sub-County. So I'm happy to welcome you in this our super county, the so-called Europe, Kisumu, in our Kisumu County Assembly. Feel most welcome, and I believe your being here is going to inspire you in future after you are learning to be the people whom we are seeing here, that is honorables. And it is also important to know that this house, we have 47 members of this house, the honorable members, and because they've gone for an official duty, they are not, all of them are not present today, and the ones that you see are the ones that God planned that you are to come and find. Feel most welcome. Out of 47 members, 16 are ladies, while 31 are men. We also have in this county 35 wards. That means we have the 35 elected members and the 12 are nominated members. I think with that, there are other speakers coming behind me. Feel most welcome. Feel Kisumu, and make sure after here you visit the lake, you taste maybe fish along the lake. Thank you.
Honorable Midela Juba, I spotted you first, so I'll give you an opportunity. Although I wanted to give 2 gentlemen and 1 lady, so I'll give 2 ladies and 1 gentleman. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the reason why I want to speak is because my ward, Central Seme, borders game. As soon as you reach the boundary, you are in Akala. So that is the Central Seme ward. And I thought I would relate with them. They are coming just my neighbors. I want to welcome you, students and the teachers. And I just want to let you know that we were once students. We used to study civic education while we were in school. And we used to do debates in school. It reminds me of the days we would do debates, and one person would be the speaker, then we would have the opposing, the sides, and it was quite lovely. And I believe you still do the same thing. That prepares you for a future, that one day you may be legislators, and you may be coming to county assembly, you can go to the Senate, you can be in the parliament, or you can be governors. So we look at you and we are seeing future leaders. We are just reminded of the events of last year when the Gen Z stormed the parliament, and you are the Gen Zs. So today you have come live, you've not stormed, but we welcome you here. I want to say that we are very happy. What we do here, just to repeat again, we do oversight, we do legislation, we do laws, and formulate policies here. And we also represent the people that come from different wards. We want to welcome you once more and feel at home. Thank you.
Honorable Bill, Oliver, Honorable Were, I've noticed you. Honorable Karen, I've noticed you. I'll give you a chance to say just a word. Honorable Bill, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you for recognizing my seniority. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, I'm really happy that we have the school from Game here. I'm happy because they're a young population. I think the gap that I have with them is not that big, so I can really relate with them. So, Madam Speaker, I'm taking this opportunity to welcome them to Kisumu County Assembly. This is a house, a very honorable house, and it is my belief that some of you really want to, at some point in life, be part of this honorable house. This is where we make decisions for the county government. This is where we make the laws for this county. So I want to ask you, you know the state of this country right now. You know where we are heading as a country. You know all the pressures that we've had in this country. So I'm urging you, as you study, work hard, work smart, so that you be the future that we have for this country. This country really needs good leaders. And I believe your teachers have instilled qualities that will make this country a better place. So have that drive to give direction to this country. And I'm happy you came to Kisumu County because the honorable members that you see here, and some of them went out on official duty, we've tried our best to work with integrity for this county. So as some of us will be exiting politics, or some of us will be going for bigger positions, or even some of us will want to maintain these positions, please work hard and come and join us so that we help our country, we help our counties, and we help the generations to come. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Were. Honorable Bill Oliver, I didn't give you the opportunity based on your seniority. Honorable Were is more senior, but I was considering since you are the youngest in the assembly. Honorable Were, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for making a clarification. Even Honorable Bill knows very well that Honorable Were is more senior than him. Madam Speaker, let me also take this opportunity on behalf of County Assembly of Kisumu to welcome the students and staff, our teachers of Oranga Mixed School. I know they are our immediate neighbors from Siaya County, and we believe whatever we are doing here is also done in Siaya by the Siaya County Assembly. We want to share with you what we do as Kisumu County Assembly, what we do to represent our people so that we can make service delivery come to the doorstep of the Kisumu residents. Madam Speaker, I want to encourage our students from Muranga that it is possible. When we look at you, we see future leaders in you. We have people who may happen to be presidents here, who can become governors, who can become senators, MPs, and members of county assemblies. It depends on you. You have to work hard. Because when you left your home going to Uranga, it is your sole responsibility. You've gone there to shape your future. So it depends with you. So if you work smart and hard, you shall achieve whatever the goal that took you there. And for our teachers, I want to thank you for having stood tall and firm in ensuring that you shape the future of these students, nurturing them and preparing them so that they can become future leaders. We believe in you, and we strongly believe that maybe some of you may become future leaders, maybe in Kisumu or even in Siaya, because in politics, there's no boundary. You are taking your education in Siaya, maybe you are residents of Siaya, but you never know where your future will take you. Maybe you will become great leaders in Busia, in Siaya, in Nakuru, in Nairobi. You must be prepared to accept this, the challenge. Otherwise, I want to thank all of you. And as an MCA who represents Nyalenda B ward within Kisumu Central Sub-County, I want to welcome you to Nyalenda B. That's where we have all the beautiful scenery within Kisumu. That's where people can take the good fish. That's where people can get to visit Impala Park. So feel at home and visit that area. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Karen, I noticed you earlier on, but I'll assume you've donated your time. Okay, Honorable Obaso, I don't think I'll give you time because you've already eaten up into the time for welcoming the guests. So next time, sorry. Okay. Clerk, can you please take us the next order? Next order, clerk.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Yes, Honorable Karen Odhiambo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Pursuant to the provisions of orders number 1826 of the standing orders, I wish to table today, Thursday, 25th September 2025, report of Finance and ICT Committee regarding the status of fixed assets and disposal of movable assets. Thank you.
Honorable members, I want to confirm receipt on the report on a matter sought by Honorable Joachim Okech regarding status of county fixed assets and disposal of movable assets by the Finance and ICT Committee, and I'd like to commit this to the House Business Committee for scheduling for debate. Next order, clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Yes, Honorable Karen Odhiambo.
Thank you once again, Madam Speaker. That pursuant to the provisions of orders number 45(1) of the standing orders, this House adopts the report of Finance and ICT Committee regarding the status of fixed assets and disposal of movable assets. Thank you.
Next order, clerk.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, it's statement time. Next order, clerk.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report of the Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing Committee on the operations of the Kisumu County Trade Fund by Honorable Alice Wajeo.
Yes, Honorable Alice Wajera. Although before you move the motion, I'd just like to remind honorable members on the limitation on debate, on reports. I will not read it again, but this is just a reminder. So please go ahead, Honorable Alice Wajera.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker and honorable members, during the assembly sitting on first Tuesday of July 2025, Honorable James Were, MCO Nyalenda B, pursuant to the provision of Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders number 41(2) A and B, raised a statement requesting the chairperson of Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing to provide a comprehensive written response regarding the operations of Kisumu County Trade Fund. You can see the annex in the parent document, that is Annex 1. The statement regarding the current status and operations of the Kisumu County Trade Fund was duly committed to my committee for inquiry. We were tasked with investigating the matter and reporting our findings and recommendations to this Honorable House. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly of Kisumu for their invaluable support in providing a conducive environment that enabled the successful execution of this assignment. I also wish to commend the members of my committee who, despite their various responsibilities, committed their time and energy to attend meetings, review submissions, interrogate the issues, and contribute meaningfully to the completion of this report. Madam Speaker, additionally, I would like to express my appreciation to the County Executive Committee member for Trade, Tourism, Industry, Cooperative and Marketing for their cooperation and timely response to our inquiries. Their input was instrumental in helping the committee understand the challenges facing the trade fund and the future outlook. I would also like to acknowledge the support of our committee secretariat, who coordinated technical guidance and meticulous report writing ensured the successful completion of this important work. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to present this report on the status of the Kisumu Trade Fund, including its implementation, challenges, financial accountability gaps, and proposed transition into a more inclusive enterprise fund model. I submit this report for the House careful consideration, debate, and adoption in line with its oversight and legislative mandate. Madam Speaker and honorable members, the Kisumu Trade Fund was established under the Kisumu Trade Fund Act 2015, pursuant to Section 116(1) of the Kisumu of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, with the objective of supporting traders and micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises through access to affordable credit. The fund was intended to act as a revolving facility, promoting enterprise growth, job creation, and poverty eradication within the county. Madam Speaker, as provided in the Establishing Act, the fund was to be financed through appropriations made by the County Assembly or any gift, donation, grant, and its operations were to be governed by principle of accountability, transparency, and equitable access across all the wards of Kisumu County. Since its inception, the fund has received a total of 15 million in allocation from the county treasury, with actual disbursement made only in the year 2016 and 2017, 2018, and 2019 financial years. Despite the budget approvals in subsequent years, including the year 2021 and 2022, no additional fund were transferred to the fund account, rendering it effectively dormant. Madam Speaker, furthermore, the County Assembly has not been furnished with regular financial statements or audit reports of the fund, contrary to the requirement of Section 167 and 168 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012 and Article 229(4)(b) of the Constitution, which mandate all the public funds that all public funds must be audited and reported on within 6 months after the close of every financial year. Additionally, no clear data has been submitted to demonstrate whether the fund has been equitably accessed across all the ward. Madam Speaker, the lack of accountability, transparency, and operational continuity in the administration of the Kisumu County Trade Fund, despite prior budgetary election by the Assembly, forms the basis of this statement brought before this Honorable House and consequently to the committee's inquiry and this report. Madam Speaker, from the parent document, there were some questions which were asked, and based on the above, Honorable Were in the statement requested the committee to provide a detailed report on the following issues. One of the issues were whether the trade fund is currently operational and has earned any interest over the past 3 financial years as contemplated by the Kisumu County Trade Fund Act 2018. Another question, Madam Speaker, was whether the trade fund has received budgetary allocation for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025, and whether its financial statements have been duly submitted to the Office of the Auditor General as required by law. Another question was whether the trade fund has been equitably distributed across all wards, who the beneficiaries have been during the said financial years, and of what extent Nyalenda B has benefited. Madam Speaker, these are some of the responses from the CECM of Trade. The committee addressed these questions to the CECM for Trade, Tourism, Cooperative, Industry and Marketing, and was responded as indicated. Number 1, whether the trade fund is currently operational and any interest over the past 3 financial years and contemplated at the Kisumu County Trade Fund Act 2015. These are some of the answers the department gave us. The department confirmed that the fund is partially operational with no budgetary allocation in the past 6 financial years. However, recoveries from non-performing loans are ongoing. You can check in our parent document, Annex 5. The last official disbursement was made in the financial year 2019-2020, and major challenges cited include high default rates, stringent loan requirements, and the negative economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which made the loan recovery more difficult. But currently, there is no disbursement of funds to beneficiaries, but loan recovery is going on. The fund has earned interest of 228,902 from 2021 to the year 2025 as per their below table. I'm going to read some table here. So in the financial year 2021-2022, quarter 1, the interest was 65,538 and 38. Quarter 2, the interest was 25,131. Quarter 3, the interest was 24,085. Quarter 4, the interest was 28,983. The total for that year was 143,338. And the year 2022-2023, the interest was 5,031. That is quarter 1. Quarter 2, 20,156. Quarter 3, 13,065. And quarter 4, 7,013. The total interest that year was 45,267. 2023-2024, the first quarter interest was 18,669. Second quarter was 9,684. Third quarter was 700, and there was no recovery on quarter 4. The total was 29,054. 2024-2025, the first quarter was 9,702. Second quarter, there was no recovery. Third quarter was 87 only. Fourth quarter was the 1,052. The total for that year was 10,824. The total recovery for all these years are 228,902. The other question was whether the trade fund has received budgetary allocation for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, 2024-2025, and whether its financial statements have been duly submitted to the Office of the Auditor General as required by law. Madam Speaker, the answer was the fund received a total of 15 million with allocations made only in 2016 and 2017. That is when they received 15 million. That is 10 million in 2016 and 2017. Mark that. And in 2018 and 2019, there was 5 million. That's a total of 50 million. Despite approved budget, no disbursement has been made since 2019 and 2020. The department indicated that the financial year 2021-2022, allocation was not credited to the fund. There was no allocation. I'm going to give you another table here for a fund allocation table. In 2016-2017, there was a disbursement of 10 million credited to the account on the 13th of August 2016. In 2017-2018, there was no allocation. 2018-2019, there was 5 million, that's as I said earlier. That was on July 2019. From 2019 to date, there have never been any allocation. So I'm going to give you a disbursement summary. In financial year 2016-2017, out of the initial 100 million budget allocation, only 10 million was disbursed to the account, and only 2.1 million was disbursed to beneficiaries out of 10 million. Okay? Am I clear up to that point? Yeah. So only 2.1 million was disbursed to beneficiaries. In the year 2017-2018, with no new allocation, using the residual balance and the loan repayments, the FAT disbursed an additional 5 million from the previous financial year. That is the previous, from 2016-2017. In 2019-2020, following a further allocation of 5 million disbursed to the fund, along with repayments from the previous disbursement, the fund disbursed a total of 8.880 million. The fund has thus disbursed a cumulative total of 16,890,000. Both allocations and repayments. You can see that in the annex, which is in our parent document. As of 31st July 2025, the Kisumu Trade Fund account reflects a current balance of 2,147,500. And I mean, okay, let me come again. The current balance is 2,147,555, as detailed in the account statement attached. The statement is attached in our parent document. However, it is not worthy that as at 30th June 2025, the total amount in default stood at 10,268,267. Yeah, those are the defaults. The fund was last audited by the Attorney General on 30th June 2021. Since then, no subsequent audit has been conducted, which is a contravention of Article 229(4)(b) of the Constitution of Kenya and Section 167(3) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. These legal provisions mandate the annual audit of public funds to ensure accountability and transparency in the use of public resources. Question 3 was whether the fund has been equitably distributed across all wards, who the beneficiaries have been during the said financial years, and to what extent Nyalenda B ward has benefited. These are the answers we got from the department. They provided ward-level data specifying the number of beneficiaries across the Kisumu County. The data for Nyalenda B was also presented, where the total of 8 beneficiaries benefited from the fund across the years 2016 and 2017, 2018, and 2019-2020. We have a table here. I'm just going to go through it. The wards which benefited from this fund, one is Ahero ward. We had 3 beneficiaries with 220,000. Awaso Njiko ward 7 with 710. Central Nyakach 4 with 310. Central Seme 6 with 550. Chemili Tamu 8 with 350. East Seme 3 with 180. Kajulu 13 with 830. Kaloleni Sarumoyo 13 with 570. Kobura Ward 6 with 570, Central Kolwa 3 with 240, Kondele Ward 24 with 2,060,000, Masogonyangoma 1 with 50,000, Market Milimani 27 with 3,350,000, North Nyakach 6 with 530, North Seme 2 with 150, Nyalenda A 4 with 550, Nyalenda B 8 with 820, Ombe 3 with 450, Railways 8 with 740, Central Seme 1 with 50,000, Southwest Nyakach 6 with 350, West Seme 2 with 130, West Nyakach 4 with 200, Central Kisumu 10 with 1.3 million, 10,000, Manyata B5 with 530, Migosi 3 with 250, Northwest Kisumu 2 with 180, Southwest Kisumu 4 with 360, West Seme 3 with 280. This is a total of 180 beneficiaries with a total amount of 16,990,000. The department stated that there was no formal selection criteria and that any entrepreneur within the county qualified for the fund, provided they had collateral. However, the collateral requirements hindered many people from accessing the fund. Madam Speaker, I'm going to go to the committee observations and findings. It is in the parent document, page 12, and I'm going to start by 1. Our findings were no comprehensive report or audit statement has been audited to the County Assembly for oversight. That is undermining transparency and accountability. Number 2, the fund has remained dormant for the past 6 years, rendering it non-functional and failing to serve its intended beneficiaries. Number 3, the fund's design includes overly stringent collateral requirements, making it inaccessible to the informal sector, which comprises of significant portion of potential beneficiaries. Number 4, there is a complete absence of a monitoring and evaluation system to track disbursement, identify beneficiaries, or monitor loan recovery progress. Number 5, the department has been relying on a regulation that has not been approved by the Assembly to operationalize the fund. Madam Speaker, the committee's recommendations are as follows. The first ones were the findings, and you can also get them from the parent document, page 12. Our first recommendation is the department must immediately submit the financial statement for all applicable years to the Office of the Attorney General and ensure that copies are also submitted to the County Assembly for oversight. The County Assembly, through the Public Accounts Committee, that is PAC, should commission an independent audit to comprehensively examine the operations and financial history of Kisumu County Trade Fund. Number 3, no further budgetary allocation should be made to the Kisumu County Trade Fund until governance, reporting, and monitoring system are fully operationalized and compliant with the relevant law. Our fourth recommendation is the department should explore group-based lending and loan guarantee schemes to reduce default risk and increase access. Number 5 is the department should cease using the regulation that has not been passed by the Assembly and take immediate steps to have it formally approved by the Assembly. Number 6, the department should operationalize the Kisumu County Trade Fund Act 2018, which provides an inclusive and flexible framework by targeting youth, women, persons with disability, circles, and informal traders, and also relaxing collateral requirements and incorporating digital reporting and robust financial oversight mechanism. Madam Speaker, I hereby argue honorable members to adopt this report with the recommendations herein. May I call upon Honorable Eunice Alando to second. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Eunice Alando.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to second this motion and also to request this House that if the motion is approved, the implementation committee should take the matter immediately, because this fund is very important to our traders, and being that as members of this House, we know most of our traders are really suffering. They are just borrowing money from Shylocks and maybe other Kalenjins who walk around the market, and because of that, you now see the urgency of the implementation to come in and make sure that all the recommendations are reached by the executive so that we serve our traders well. Thank you.
And honorable members, and now that the report by the Committee of Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing on the operations of Kisumu County Trade Fund has been presented and seconded. And as per standing orders, I'd like to propose a question, and I propose that this document is now open for debate. I'll give gender the first priority, so I'll give Honorable Karen Odhiambo of Caroline Shorimoyo Ward. I've noticed all the members who are up on their feet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the report before us. First, I want to start by commending the committee for a job well done. So, at least we know how the trade fund was disbursed among the beneficiaries. However, Madam Speaker, I'm worried because it did not come clear from the report. During the financial year 2016-2017, a total of 10 million was disbursed. And only 2,120,000 was disbursed to the beneficiaries. How I wish the committee could come out clearly to tell us the challenges the department had, that a whole 7 million plus was not used. Otherwise, I support the motion. Thank you.
I'll give Honorable Tom Nyaoke the chance. Then next I'll give Honorable Ouko. Then Honorable Bill Oliver. Then Honorable Kumudo, in that order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for such a good arrangement. Madam Speaker, I want to first start by thanking Honorable James Were, who found it important to ask for a question on clarification of this issue of this fund, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the mandate of this committee, and I read again at point number 1, was to investigate, inquire into, and report on all matters relating to the mandate management, activities, administration, operation, and estimates of the assigned apartments, of the assigned departments. Madam Speaker, in this report, we have been told quite a number of issues that transpired with the fund. Of course, we can, just reading through it, we can be able to have an idea on exactly what happened and what we feel should be able to be done. But Madam Speaker, I know various speakers would now point at the implementation committee where Madam Alando, Honorable Alando has just mentioned. But Madam Speaker, with due respect, as also a member of the implementation, I think it is high time that the recommendations that the committees are bringing in the floor of this House must also be precise, so that we know exactly. We should not be reading the reports to derive the kind of actions that we are to get. Madam Speaker, if you look at, if we go to the recommendations, I've looked at the mandate and I'm also looking at the recommendation. One of the recommendation the committee has given us here is that the department must immediately submit financial statements for all applicable years to the Office of the Auditor General and ensure that the copies are also submitted to the County Assembly for oversight. Madam Speaker, this is exactly one of the mandate what this committee was supposed to have brought to us into this House. Madam Speaker, in as much as I would support this report for adoption, I think going forward, other committees that will be presenting also their motions for adoptions must also try the much they can to be precise, particularly when it comes to recommendations. Madam Speaker, with a fund such as this, there must also be positions of fund managers. Madam Speaker, and if you look at the observations they have made, like number one, saying no comprehensive reports of audit statements have been submitted to the County Assembly for oversight, undermining transparency and accountability. Madam Speaker, I believe the committee must have identified the person who slept in his job for just failing to do this first item, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as we adopt this report, I can say I can also beg members that we adopt, but with a reservation that this report is still going to call again another investigations to identify exactly who slept on the job so that appropriate actions can be taken. Madam Speaker, with that few remarks, I beg to support. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Ken Nauko.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me also thank the member for Nyalenda, Mr. Were, Honorable Were, for this statement. And let me also thank the chair with the committee for the good work they have done to expose what is not actually known by many, including members of the County Assembly. The Kisumu County Trade Act 2015 was enacted by this House to advance loans to entrepreneurs within Kisumu County, the easy access of loan. Madam Speaker, after the enactment of this act in this assembly, somebody just sat down from somewhere and came up with a business a loan scheme which cannot be supported by the law. Madam Speaker, whatever we are being given here to represent a regulation is not a regulation. This is something which we can sit down as members of the County Assembly. We decide and come up with a business scheme, and we start loaning people without proper guidance which is not supported by the law. Madam Speaker, a regulation must be put in place by the County Assembly. A regulation is an official rule or law which is created by a government to control or guide within a specific area. If it is probably finance, it should guide very clearly. Madam Speaker, within the regulations, it will specify very clearly who can apply for the loan, the interest rate expected, the repayment period, and what happens if somebody defaults on that kind of loan. Madam Speaker, in the absence of all this, where they say the scheme is running without a clear criteria on how the loan is to be administered, how to be collected, Madam Speaker, this fund is illegal. It is illegal to an extent that even if the beneficiaries fails today to pay the loans, we will not have anything to hold on concerning these people because it is not regulated, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the financial statements have not been sent to this House as required by law. Madam Speaker, it is required that after every quarter of the year, there should be a financial statement sent to the Committee of Finance. Then after 1 year, there should be audited statement sent to the House through PICPAC. This is where we can assess whether the fund is viable, it can happen, it can help, how it performs, and such kind of things. But in the absence of all this fund was created by somebody sitting somewhere to fleece the county of its resources. Madam Speaker, it is very clear in the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, Article 229(4) of the Constitution of Kenya, it requires the Auditor General within a period of 6 months after the end of each financial year to audit and report in respect of the financial year on 1, the accounts of all funds. Remember, this is a trade fund. And authorities of national and county governments. If they have really failed, remember that it is indicated that some of the loanees are remitting their monies in this account. These accounts are not closed. And somebody is sleeping in the job in the name of accounting officer in charge of that funding. Madam Speaker, it is true that we must protect the interests of our people. And we must oversight the executive. Guided by law, we can't allow our officers who are vetted in this House and have all the qualifications to mess up our people and do the illegalities while we are watching. Madam Speaker, I support that we have to oversight as required by law, and I support. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Bill Oliver.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable for Nyalenda B. Mheshimiwa James Were for bringing this statement to this House. And I also want to thank our chair, Committee Trade, all the trade members, I'm a member, for bringing this document here. Madam Speaker, from the document that we presented as the Trade Committee, if you look at the objectives of the fund when it was established, it was to support traders and small and medium-sized enterprises. And in our discussion, I believe, Madam Speaker, we should be looking at how that has also been achieved over the years. It is sad, really sad that, Madam Speaker, 6-7 years down the line, the fund has not grown. We really don't have a financial institution that is monitoring how the funds are brought back by the people that were lent the amount to improve their livelihoods. Madam Speaker, if you look at how this fund is being, how it is operationalized, how it really works, this is a complete money heist. This is stealing from the public. I'm saying this because there are articles of the Constitution that the document has mentioned. We have the Article 229, 4B of the Constitution of Kenya, which shows us that within 6 months after the end of the financial year, the Auditor General shall audit and request in respect of that financial year and report in respect of that financial year. So it is unfortunate that over 6 years, we don't have those reports in this house, and 6 years down the line, we are questioning that. So it means directly, even a layman can really understand that that is complete incompetence in that office. Madam Speaker, we are representatives of our wards, and we oversight the county government. And if really they can do this injustice and not let the public to know what has really been collected, what has been given over the years, it is sad. Because if you look at what they gave us, you don't have a clear picture of who was given. So, being that it is a blind document, Madam Speaker, for us as honorable members, I believe it is right if we say that this is an area where we need more investigations because money is being lost here. Madam Speaker, 6 years is long enough. Money that was given to people to improve their livelihoods, and in return, bring it back with at least small interest so that a bigger population can borrow that money and improve livelihoods of people. If you look at how that money has been returned, really, you are shocked. If this is how the county government works, the system of devolution is failing. If you look at the document, I come from Kobura, as the representative of Kobura Ward. When it was first given out, Kobura was given 570,000. And my expectation, with little maths, anybody can really understand that around 500,000 given to a particular group of people, at least up to now, that money should have grown at least to around 2 million, because it is you're given with a small interest you return. Should be a bigger percentage. We should be now talking of 15 million was given, and we should now be talking of around 60 or even 40 million back and disbursed again to a bigger population to improve the lives of the traders, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Madam Speaker, I feel sad that the county government, the county executive, is being trusted by in handling funds, but they can clearly give us a very 100% incompetence when they give us back what we really expected them to handle well. So, Madam Speaker, I want to urge this honorable house to support this, but again, let us do more investigations, because this is something that really needs to be investigated more. Madam Speaker, as I sit as a member of trade, there's something I noted from the document. Yes, we own it, but there's a small mistake that is there, because there's a section of the PFM Act 2012 that has been mentioned, and it's sad if we can have this error, because the PFM Act that we have doesn't have section 167. We have section 67, and that is what we discussed in the committee. So it is wrong. This document is going to the public. It shouldn't have section 167 in it. So that, I believe, was an error, because what we discussed was section 67. I urge honorable members, let us support this, and at least it has confirmed to our people that the Trade Department is sleeping, and I'm happy that the committee is showing this to the public, so that we know that the county government that we expect to fight for us has decided to sleep in Department of Trade. So, as honorable members, I want to thank you as we do our role in oversight. I support.
Yes, Honorable Komudo.
Many thanks, Madam Speaker. I am privileged this afternoon to contribute to the report presented, very good report presented by the Trade Committee that I equally belong to. Once more, congratulations, Chair, for doing some good job together with the team, ourselves. Again, a good question came up from my fellow colleague, Honorable Were. It will serve the purpose. I will be very brief, Madam Speaker, to the points. It has come out very clearly that somebody or some person seated somewhere within the authorities established a fund. And the fund was meant to be used in a particular way, and in that particular way, it was to benefit some few in the society and never to be refunded. I am happy because Muhoroni Core Ward is not mentioned anywhere. And I don't even think anybody in Muhoroni Core Ward knew there was something like that. Out of the 35 wards, only 27 wards benefited from it. 8 did not even know that there was such a thing which was going on. However, Honorable Madam Speaker, together with the fellow colleagues, honorable members, it is never late. It is never late because I have heard something like collaterals being mentioned, but I doubt how useful these collateral things are. I won't be surprised that a number of fake title deeds were presented here. I will not be surprised, Honorable Speaker, that a number of fake logbooks were presented here as collaterals under this thing, but it is never late. The report is very clear. The report has given recommendations. We want the implementation committee to come and let us see some action being taken. These amounts were taken by people. Some of these people would still be living. Some of them probably have perished. But we want to know exactly what was the purpose of the fund. It came, it died 6 years ago. We are still seeing that there's some balance of some 2 million. What is the way forward towards this? Can the implementation committee take action immediately and let us have the feedback? I support the report. Many thanks once more.
Yes, Honorable Geoffrey Warida.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Right from the outset, let me thank the author, the originator of the statement, and I want to believe that the concerns that he wanted to be addressed have been elaborately addressed by the chair of the Trade Committee. Madam Speaker, if you go through the report that we are discussing today, it's like this fund was destined to fail right from the onset. Madam Speaker, the only regret I'm having is that this was a low-hanging fruit and nobody from Miwani Ward took the opportunity to take it. And Madam Speaker, we are being told that so far there was a total of 16,990,000 that was dispersed to beneficiaries. And if you go to the account right now, it's the account is reading 2,147,555, and the money in default so far is 10,268,267. Madam Speaker, if we are talking from facts, by the end of this year, or maybe next year, this account will be reading zero. All these people will even default in paying. My worry is right now they are not disbursing the amount that is there in the fund account, and we still have 2,147,500. I don't know whether the account is still being used or the account is currently dormant. The objective of this loan, and Madam Speaker, I usually say this, that the drafters of the new constitution, those who came up with that devolution, had a very good idea on how to grow our people. The objective of this was to promote the enterprise, the small scale, the medium sized business, and those who are doing the business. The second one was for job creation, and at least this was going to alleviate our people from poverty. Most of the departments that we're dealing with right now in Kisumu County, very few are directly felt by the people that we are representing. And this was a very good initiative from the county. If it was to succeed, I want to believe that many people will have been employed through this. If you go through our region, we have very limited manufacturing companies, and the only way that our people can be at least employed is through the businesses. And if this amount of 15 million can be disbursed, then the repayment period, the repayment structure was not even there. Everything was a fault from the start. And I really wonder if this fund will be activated and if our people will really benefit from this fund. There are a lot of things that the Assembly, as the oversighting committee, there are a lot of things that we still need to do so that this fund can be operationalized. I wonder the worry and the hurry that was there when giving out almost 15 million shillings, and there was no proper structure on how this amount was going to be recovered. Initially, it was meant to be a revolving fund. You take a loan, you repay, then others can also be given this loan. Those who were given this loan from the first moment, I want to believe some of them went with it just like that, and there was no payment structure that was put in place. If you are going to make this workable, Madam Speaker, we need to come up with a regulation. We need to adhere with the Public Finance Management Act. We need to adhere with what the Constitution says on these funds that are being established. Just the other day, we were discussing about the Sports Department and how 15 million was used. Today, again, we are discussing about 15 million being lost just like that. And if you look at our wards, we are only given like 20 million to propose projects for that. This is a total of 30 million, which has been lost. Madam Speaker, we just need to be serious with our work, and we need to take a responsibility as the whole house. The idea of throwing everything to the implementation committee, but then it has been a norm. Each and every report that is given in this house, the first committee to be blamed will be the implementation committee. As a house, there are so many things that we need to do to rectify the things that are right now happening, which are not benefiting our people. Let's us all act as the implementation committee members and do our oversighting role properly. Then all the things that we do will go in the right direction. Madam Speaker, I support the report, and I want to believe that there is more than meet the eye. We cannot just leave it at this point. At least more inquiries should be made into this fund, and we must find the way forward. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Mildred Ajumbo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to add my voice to the ongoing debate on the trade fund. Madam Speaker, I want to thank Honorable Were for coming up with a statement to inquire into the loan that was given through this fund. I also want to thank the committee, the chair, and the entire committee for coming up with this elaborate report. Madam Speaker, I've looked at the list of disbursements in various wards, of course, a total of 27 wards. I have had some honorable member for Kuru Moroni complaining about the wards that his ward never benefited. Madam Speaker, I've looked at the response by the CCM trade when she was giving her response, and she's agreed that there need to be strict loan requirements. And she also accepted that it's true, the default rates was quite high. And the same department was supposed to have come up with the regulations on how to regulate this fund. The same department is accepting that it's true, they should have come up with the requirements, and also the rates were quite high, the rate at which default was happening. This loan up to now, Madam Speaker, we can see that the loan is still, people are still paying the loan, those that took the loan. But again, against a background that there is no regulation, Madam Speaker. So it is high time that the Committee of Implementation can take it up so that they do a follow-up. I'm sure the Committee of Recommendation is going to come up with a more detailed report on some of these recommendations by the Committee of Trade. The Committee of Trade is giving a recommendation that independent audit needs to be carried out. And also the group lending loan guarantee schemes needs to be improved. Madam Speaker, it is my hope, because from the Trade Committee, that is the report they've given. So the report goes to the Implementation Committee that must take it serious. I can see the Vice laughing. I see a member of the committee seated in the same place with the Vice. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Henrietta Bodo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm on my feet to support today's motion from Committee of Trade. Madam Speaker, this is a very important report, not only for the House, but for every Kisumu persons. Madam Speaker, there is one thing that all members have contributed, if I'm not wrong, except Honorable Koyo. But majority of us have contributed, and the contributions are very, very good, and the recommendations too. Madam Speaker, there is one thing that we have to do. All the points that have been brought forward are good. But if we don't bring an end, a closure to that account, the funds are still going to go out and not coming back in. So my other recommendation for the House or for the committee is that we need to freeze that account so that they don't keep on lending and no money is being brought back. Otherwise, I stand to support the motion, and I would like to call the mover to reply.
Honorable Henrietta Bodo, you just proposed a recommendation. I don't know whether you want to do it formally or it was just a contribution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think it's a contribution. I stand to be guided. Thank you. If there are any persons who want to speak, Madam Speaker, I think you can have a say on that. Thank you.
You proposed a recommendation. You proposed an item to be included in the recommendation. So,
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thought you were giving Honorable Were to continue. But that aside, let me call Honorable Tom Nyaoke to second.
what is Honorable?
The recommendation. Yes, you know she has recommended that we include the point that this account should be frozen until all these things are put in place. That's indeed a very good recommendation. And Madam Speaker, with that few remarks, I beg to second.
Honorable members, we have a proposal for a recommendation to be included in the report by Honorable Henrietta Bodo and seconded by Honorable Tom Nyaoke. I'd like to propose a question and I'd like to open the floor for that debate. Yes, Honorable Bill Oliver.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to propose that it's not in bad faith. I'm opposing because I'm seeing it in terms of if you close the account, what is left of the people who are still giving their contributions? Because we want life to this thing. It is something that can really grow Kisumu County. So I am for the idea that instead of closing the account, the department was working on a program of taking that and partnering with the banks. I think it was Equity Bank. So if they go that way, they transfer that fund, and it is and they let it to be handled by the bank. I believe that is the right way to go, and we'll be giving life to that and not forgetting the people that were given that fund to improve their lives. So it will be a continuity towards a better future, because the bank will now be handling it. It is not our role as the county government to do follow-ups. I believe if they are given that role as a financial institution, they can do follow-ups to defaulters well, and in the process, we'll have more money, and the money will benefit more and more members of Kisumu. So I really oppose, and I believe members will oppose that.
Yes, Honorable Henrietta Bodo, I don't know why you're up. We are still debating, and you cannot debate as the proposer.
Point of information, Madam Speaker. I just want to inform my colleague, Honorable Bill Odhiambo, that I spoke of freezing the
Honorable Henrietta, there's a procedure for informing a member. Honorable Bill Oliver, do you allow Honorable Henrietta to inform you?
No, Madam Speaker.
Okay, yes, Honorable Uwere, James.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've become more confused, Madam Speaker, because Honorable Henrietta contributed, but while sitting down, asked the mover to reply. So I don't think this statement of an amendment becomes relevant, Madam Speaker, until you make a pronouncement and judgment, Madam Speaker.
Honorable, whether you know it wasn't in order for Honorable Henrietta to call the mover to reply, but she made a proposal on the amendment. So it's either you support because you're debating on the amendment or you reject it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted you to make that clarification. Madam Speaker, I'm also against the proposed amendment. Madam Speaker, this is still account in question. We have people that still owes the government money. We still have money, about over 2 million in that account. Madam Speaker, freezing this account or closing this account, it means that we are agreeing that we don't care about what happens to the 13 million that is still left pending. And Madam Speaker, as we propose as a county that we want to do recoveries to where? All the monies that we are going to recover, where shall we take them to? So, Madam Speaker, I oppose. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Geoffrey Warindo.
Thank you again, Madam Speaker. The report read by the chair was very clear that right now there's no disbursement of loans taking place. The only money that is getting into that account is the repayment amounts that were given to the beneficiaries. And from her report, it was so far the interest alone is 228,902, and all these monies are being channeled to this account. The main purpose why this account should be active and should not be closed, Madam Speaker, is that we want to retrieve the amount that was given to the beneficiaries to this account. And I want to believe that is the main function that this account is being used for. And therefore, Madam Speaker, I also oppose the proposed amendment.
I see no one standing up to continue debating, so I'll call the proposer of the amendments to reply, and then I'll put a question.
Maybe to honorable members, they did not actually understood what I had said. I said that the money that are out cannot be locked from accessing the account, but we can lock the account from monies that are going out. That is what I meant. Otherwise, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I reply.
Honorable members, there's been an amendment proposed by Honorable Henrietta, and as per standing orders, I'd like to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that the amendments be part of the report say aye, as many of the contrary opinion say nay, and the nays have it, and therefore the amendments do not form part of the report. Honorable members, we continue with the debate. Yep. Yep.
Madam Speaker,
Yes, Honorable Zachary Okoyo, you're so anxious to talk. Continue.
thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I did not want to contribute on the amendment because I knew it was going to fall. Madam Speaker, let me say this. Madam Speaker, the trade fund is one of the funds which Kisumu County government found a very noble idea to introduce. And Madam Speaker, going by other ideas which I've seen in other areas, I remember the trade fund is one like other funds which are practiced by the other devolved functions like NGCDF. And Madam Speaker, I want to tell you, if we really want to empower, and more so, the women of Kisumu County, we need to have the trade fund functioning. But Madam Speaker, just like any other idea which has been brought up in Kisumu County, the trade fund should be live and kicking. But as you know, the weakness of the mankind, people sometimes take advantage of good ideas and then they make money out of it. And with the report which has been brought by the Trade Committee, Madam Speaker, I was shocked. I was really, really surprised. Because when I heard Honorable Were bringing up the statement to see what happened to the trade fund, I thought I would get a very good report and maybe know where the loose areas were so that we can tighten them and then go on with the trade fund. But Madam Speaker, it's true, we cannot and we will not close or freeze this account because we are owed with so many people. So many people are owing us, and we must see how the funds must be brought back to the this account. So I want to beg my fellow colleagues that even if we are complaining about what happened to the trade fund, but I'm one of the people who know what the trade fund can do to our citizen of Kisumu County. So, Madam Speaker, with all the ideas which my colleagues have come up with, I support this motion, but I'm asking, let's see how we can revive this trade fund and help our women who are more so the traders and doing other businesses and can benefit from this trade fund. So, Madam Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable James Were.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Kisumu Trade Fund is like any other county-based fund that is anchored in law. And Madam Speaker, this is in compliance with the Public Finance Act, Section 116 to 120, which provides for the establishment of that county fund. Then Section 116, subsection 2, also states that the county government may establish public funds for specific purposes, but they must be approved by the county assembly. Then Section 117 to 119 states that it prescribes the administration, reporting, and accountability requirements for such funds, including annual reporting and audits. Madam Speaker, you're finding that the first two sections were complied with. The last one, Madam Speaker, the county government of Kisumu has done little. Because we had to put things in place to ensure that the administration of this fund is clearly stipulated. And reporting is done in real time. Madam Speaker, the County Government Act 2012, Section 104, 1, Section A, says that the county government is required to plan for economic and social development, establishing trade enterprises funds, which fits within the planning mandate. Madam Speaker, for the county to come up with this law, it means that there was a need. There was need for our people to get a certain fund to empower themselves in terms of business. Madam Speaker, it means that we needed to cover for our vulnerable traders who may want to do something, but they lack the financial resources to do this. Madam Speaker, we were finding that most of our people were facing the financial burden by going to the financial institutions, the microfinances, and the Shylocks, which was proving to be a burden to them because the interest they were paying after accessing funds from these institutions was too much. But Madam Speaker, what is happening is now we we've left our people, we've left our traders. Because something that we could put right, we refuse to make it right. And that's why, as a member of County Assembly representing Nyalenda B, I saw it wise to raise such like questions so that we can see a way forward. Now we can revamp it, how we can safeguard it, and how we can make our people benefit from it. Madam Speaker, the report is clear. I want to commend the committee, even though there are gaps. But those gaps we must address them as a people, as a county, so that moving forward, we see the best way for how we can address it. Even before we allow this to be dropped to the Committee of Implementation, we need to address some issues. The report has talked about recoveries. How many recoveries have been done? Who and who? The people who have money to pay their money back, are their names tabulated? Are they there? The people who accessed these funds and have not paid even a penny, are their names tabulated? We need to talk about figures. We need to talk about names so that we know that out of the 200 or 300 people that benefited, 10 have money to pay back, 100 have not paid back, 10 have paid but have not completed, so that we come clear. Because according to the report, I've seen absence of recovery records. It means we are not curing anything. Even if we wanted to strengthen this fund so that it can continue, we must address this gap so that we move forward. We use the present to define the future. Madam Speaker, no reinvestment evidence. Without proof of recoveries, it is unclear whether the funds are being recycled or not. These are matters that we must look at, Madam Speaker, as we move forward. And I think the committee must have come out with a raft of recommendation, a very punitive one. Because we had agreed as a people that we are creating these funds. If it fails, it means somebody must take responsibility. I wanted a recommendation there stating that somebody is taking responsibility. I wanted to see from the report that people who are interrogated in the committee, amongst them were the fund manager. The report is silent about the fund manager. So can we move to address such like issues? The committee, they have tried. But our people are vulnerable. They want this money. We cannot let them suffer because some few individuals are still holding this money. Can we just address those gaps so that our people can continue accessing it? And Madam Speaker, I'm happy as a person having raised this question. Because in my ward, it kept on bothering me. There were pronouncements that were being made even in public gathering concerning this. That me, as a member of County Assembly representing Nyalenda B, we were given over 50 million to dispense to our people to do businesses. Now it is clear our people can know that it has never been dispersed for the past almost 3 financial years. So I'm happy, and I believe we are going to come and get a solution, a lasting solution, to save our people, to ensure that our people get the financial backing that they require to do their various trades, their various businesses. And I believe with the small interest that they will be paying back with, if we tighten our knots, this thing will work. Madam Speaker, I therefore beg to support. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Peter Basso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me also rise to add my voice to the motion before this House. And Madam Speaker, as from this report, we can say that it was meant, initially it was meant to benefit our people, but it never meant the intended target. And I also want to say that a fund that cannot be regulated will be easily be embezzled, and that's the situation that we have today here. I've been part of this report making since its initial stages, and a lot of gaps can be seen in this report. A lot of the things that are in this report were never regulated. They did not follow the PMF Act of 2012. So going forward, I want to say that responsible restriction and guidelines and frameworks to be put into the fund, the enterprise fund that is currently on progress, so that it won't have gaps as this one. And with those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I want to support the report before this House, and also say that when it will be presented to the implementation committee, then audit queries should also follow. Thank you. I support.
I'll call the mover to reply. So Honorable Alice Wajewa, continue.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you again for this opportunity. First of all, I want to start by thanking all the honorable members in this House for their contribution on this very important report. Madam, as you are aware that this issue of Kisumu Trade Fund, Kisumu County Trade Fund was a very good idea. And even when the act was established, the only gap I've seen here, or from even what I've heard from the members, is that they went ahead and started dispersing the money without proper guidance and regulations. You know, without regulations, there's nothing which, because people are confused, they don't know what to do. There is no fund manager. They don't know when they are taking the money, when they are returning interest rates. So that is the major gap. So I would wish to recommend again that implementation committee should work with speed on the recommendations from the committee, so that they they work on these issues of regulations, and secondly, and how the fund can be managed in future. But the account cannot be closed because we still have recoveries. The beneficiaries, some of them are still repaying the loans. And as you can see, there's a long period from 2019 to date. There's never been a disbursement on the loan. But recoveries are going on, and even the account which has 2.1 million, I don't think they have tempered with that money, because even the department itself, they are at a standstill. So, members, what I could only recommend is that let our Department of Implementation and Committee of Implementation and Committee of PICPAC, they should also do more inquiries and proper audit to comprehensively examine the operations of this fund. As at now, I know there's nothing which is going on. So, members, I want to thank you again, and I know this thing has been helping our women and youths and people with disability, because as you are aware that our women are being taken advantage of with by some Maasais who give them money, and even some other financial institutions who charge a lot of interest on the monies which are given out. This thing, the Kisumu Trade Fund, is going to assist most of our people. So it is something we should take seriously and see that it is implemented to the latter. Thank you so much.
Honorable members, maybe I'll just give guidance, because I heard Honorable Alice mentioning regulations missing in the department. I think it is upon the parent committee to push for the regulations of the department. So that is our responsibility. So we can't leave it to anyone. So, honorable members, and now that the report by the Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing Committee on the operations of Kisumu County Trade Fund has been presented, seconded and debated, and it's time for me to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that the report by Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing Committee on the operations of Kisumu County Trade Fund be adopted, say aye. As many of the contrary opinion, say nay. And the ayes have it. And therefore, the report by the Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing Committee on the operations of Kisumu County Trade Fund has been adopted today, the 25th of September, 2025, at 16:22 hours. And I direct that this report, together with the answered report, be submitted to the relevant department for purposes of implementation. Next, Order Clerk.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker and honorable members. There is no AOB in the order paper.
Honorable members, you can be upstanding. And there being no any other business, then this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 30th of September, 2025 at 2:30 p.m.